Hello, Arzu! Welcome, everybody! We're gonna be doing a little more Geneforge. Good to have you here today. Starting a little bit late. We had a couple of problems. You know, sometimes that's just the way things go. We're here with Geneforge Part 8 already. There's a lot of things that have been happening in Geneforge. So for those that don't know, you can find the whole playthrough up on YouTube. Maybe you're watching there already. I'm doing it live on YouTube also and on Twitch. Biohorrors Beyond Human Comprehension time. Hell yeah. We have a heck of a story so far. We're starting to get into the meat of it because I feel like so far this one's been a little bit slower to start. It's been a lot of a setup. Makes sense, because it's, I think, more of a thing where it's set to really try and, like... why are you not capturing? 1 second. There we go. I'd say that this one makes sense, because it is really trying to set up the entire world again. Like, it is a sequel, but it's a sequel that doesn't expect you to have played the first game. I mean, you're talking about an indie developer from 20 years ago. There's only so much that you're going to, be able to do to get new players in. So they don't want to cut off their base or whatever. But essentially, what the story is so far in a very, very quick summation, or at least as much as I can, trying to be quick, we are a Shaper apprentice. The Shapers being a society of wizards that rule most of the world with an iron fist. There are some explorers from across the sea that we've now finally met in this game called the Cholet. And basically, that's about the only people that don't know about the Shapers and don't treat them as gods. The Shapers are known as that because they have figured out how to use magic to shape human life itself. Or, well, not just human life, just life itself. And with that, they have come to rule with an iron fist. They, create different forms of life. In fact, when we want to make party members, we do, in fact, just make them. And so right now, our party is 2 genes, of course. Blue genes, in fact. We have these iron claw bugs. And so their whole society is based on, like, making biocomputers, although they don't call them computers, but, like, biomines and all these different weird things, and making battle creations like these scorpions to fight for them, or serviles to do things like harvest in the fields, which obviously brings a little bit of some ethics into this. As a Shaper apprentice, we got sent to a remote location called the Dry Peak Mountains to check up on what's going on in this kind of colony that they have in this very inhospitable mountain range. It's very, like, desert-like. And we come here, and it's in massive disrepair. The Shapers that we are looking for, Zachary and Barzal, one of them says the other is dead, and we start looking to investigate. We find out that Barzal is in fact alive, and more than that, Zachary and Barzal have essentially done treason and gone to a place called Susha Island, which was the place of the first game, and got access to the Geneforge, and also to the servile populations that lived there, and had formed their own societies, because the Shapers had left them and abandoned the island, and they had, gotten free of control, and now they can speak. They're intelligent creatures, and they have their own different societies. So we have a bunch of different factions that we are now trying to figure out and decide where we're trying to go here. And, what do we want to report back to the Shapers? Zachary wants us to do that. There's a faction called the Barzites, which is the Barzal faction. We haven't even met them yet. We don't know where they are exactly. They're somewhere in this area. We've made it to this spot called Shandoka. This is Dry Peak, our main base. This is probably Rising, where the Barzites are from. place called Zas-Ur, where the Takers, another faction, is from. The Takers being known for saying that as serviles, they deserve equal rights, but they're not going to get them from the Shapers, so they're going to take them by force and have a massive war and win back their freedom and destroy the Shaper society because it deserves it. Kind of agree. Then you have the Awakened, who are trying to peaceably get the same kind of goal. They're not trying to destroy Shaper society, they're trying to join it as equals and gain rights and stuff with that. So that's kind of where we're at. We just met the Sholay, which are in this fortress here at Shandoka. Oh god, right. I remember exactly what happened last time. And we found something that wasn't in the last game, as far as I know, that wasn't referenced in this world at all. We found Satan! Like, quite literally. There is a lady in a... Oh god, her name's the Emissary. And she calls herself an Infernal. And she says that we need to hunt other Infernals for her as a side quest. They're in this mine. So we're trying to help out the Sholay a little bit here and learn what they're after. And they're explorers from across the sea, and they say that they want peaceful trade with everybody, and they're learners, they say, not conquerors. But we'll see what ultimately happens there. Meanwhile, the Infernal wants us to go in here and hunt another Infernal called the Agent of Chaos, or Aspect of Chaos. I think it's Aspects of Chaos. And it was great, because she was like, oh yeah, he's real fucking, thinks he's real cool, naming himself that, idiot. So it was pretty good. Where was that? The Emissary, there we go. Yeah, the Aspect of Chaos. Confront it with the rod. So she gave us a rod that can actually confront these immortal demons. Ow. Hoping that we could actually... I'm gonna just reload that real quick, actually. These are mines. Again, biological, like everything is in this. There is a way to disarm them. Oh, right. These aren't mechanical mines, so I don't need mechanics. Because these are actual bio mines. I would need a control rod, I believe. So these are Shaper creations. They're like funguses that explode into spores to kill you. Whereas there are actual mechanical mines also, like more magic kind of fireball ones. And those ones we can have a mechanic skill to disarm. Oh, not damn. Ooh, that is a lot of friends. Can I daze? I can. Let's see how many I can get. Did we just fail daze on a bunch of these? We sure did. Oof. Oof. Did it on all of them? Yikes. That's less than ideal. Well, at least I can spit acid on a bunch of them. Oh, I'm not loving this. Oh, man. Yeah. Problem is we don't actually have a lot of resources currently. We gotta be very careful about how we do this. Okay, I need to walk more. Let's go here and we'll Arachnoid Frenzy to give us some haste. You get 8 action points a character generally. There's too many of them. Are they just... Okay. That one is coming back. Hey, Ghidorah, good to see you. Move a little bit forward. And get the frenzy. Let's get some War Blessing. And hope this goes better. That went really nicely. Wow, 76 on first hit. We did get the jump on them though, so we might have a chance. At least a little bit. Wow. Maybe not. Well, at least that one's dead. Oh, and then they moved away. I'm gonna kind of let them just take some acid damage here. No, Gene! Man, I lost both of my blue jeans. Hi, friends. Oh, and they don't have any acid anymore. Well, that's bad. I might have an essence pod. So we can get some casting ability back here. We have lots of magic, but I don't have a lot of essence, which is kind of the bigger one. Oh, that's a bad one. And then a stun. Oh, yeah, that's super dead. Yup. I know a death when I see one. Well, actually, okay. I'm gonna go like, immediately into combat. I get the feeling that confronting the demon, the literal hell spawn in the center of this mine, is going to be a little much for us right now. Boy, if these shades are this big of an issue. How close am I to a level? Actually, pretty close. Blessings. See if we can just take these two. I want to just piecemeal this up as much as possible. I think we don't actually get aggro from this. a frenzy. Get a frenzy. Hopefully... I'd really love to get, like, a couple of haste tracks. That'd be amazing. Because we can get multiple turns with the haste that we have. That was good. Well... I thought I could remove charm from it that way. Can I not? Ew. Well, that's unfortunate. There we go. That's good. Yep. It's this guy in the back that's charming that's a real problem. Ow! Ugh. Oh, we're so close. Take that. Save. Let's do this a little smarter. Oh, or not? Yikes. I didn't think we were going to get this whole group there yet. That's a bit of an issue. Well, at least the haste proc. Problem is we've actually pulled in more of the group than before. Alright, well, Daze didn't work on them great last time, but I can hit the whole group. They just ignore Daze, huh? That's a pretty big problem. That's stun and charm, too. We really need to get rid of the back ones, those casters. Like, that's the whole problem that we're having. We've decided to do a very difficult kind of routing here, which is part of the issue. Yep, that's fine. That's less fine. I really need any procs to happen for us to get like some extra speed. And it's this red, or these two red ones that are the real problem. Yeah, that charm. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. Alright, so we gotta remember... Stay on this side. Hug this wall. So we're gonna just not move from here for a moment. Oh, come on. There we go. I'd love to go forward a bit, but again, I don't want to entice this. Really? Man, how did we manage to skate around them before and not have this? Oh, that one seems to be ignoring us for some reason. Interesting. Our sad little Fiora every time is pretty great. Wait, what? Oh, quick load, that's why. Maybe this is the thing we need to do. Let's go straight this direction. Was that a shout for help? It sure was. Okay. Minor problem. What level are these? 10? I think I see my problem. It's a great hit. I don't know if that's going to matter, but it is a great hit. Good to see you, Schmuck. Okay, that one... Oh, they ran away? There's a small chance. Oh, come on. A charm. Ugh. Do I have any other healing? Oh, I do. I have a major healing pod. Stop it! You're mine! You're my own creation! Stop it! Oh, man, if that... Oh, if only that charm hadn't been so effective. Oh... It would have been... That was so close. That was basically the one, yep. Nope, nope. We grabbed the whole group. I mean, we can always do other things. I can try and skirt around. There's that possibility. This is one hell of a nasty mine. Let's go back to Shandoka for a second. Think about what else we can do. Okay. Yeah, so the mine is the only way forward from here. I can go and check out the Thad dumping ground, but I don't know that there's another better way for me to get out of there either. Let's go take a look. This side path has been blocked with Shaper mines. The glitter and pulses you get close detecting you as an inappropriate target. Disarm them, you'll have to move quickly. Shit. Fuck. I had not actually seen the way that it was auto-pathing us. Whoop. I probably have the mechanics to deal with this. Yeah, because that's the reason why we're struggling in some of the combat encounters, is I've been doing a lot of, like, leadership and mechanics so that we can go around and do other things also. But it's making combat a little rough. And we're also in an area that, like, it's a very open-ended, kind of open-world style game where you can go around and do a lot of different things, and we've decided to do the hardest things first. Yay, Knife Crow! Good to see you. Thank you for that resub. And thank you for all the gift subs that you've been giving while I'm offline. I notice. I see. You've been very, very kind. Ah, there is a way out of here. Ooh, we can get to Heth, or Geth. There's a friendly settlement. Intriguing. You enter the town of Heth, currently undergoing the process of revival. The eastern half of the town is an old Shaper settlement, crumbling buildings of ancient stone. The west half is wooden buildings, recent construction by the humans and serviles who have flocked here. Heth is being rebuilt as a fortress. The people here are working hard constructing new buildings and repairing old ones. Supplies are heaped everywhere. Soon this will be a formidable fort. When you enter, all eyes are immediately upon you. You've grown used to this. However, the common humans of the town are definitely hostile. Very unusual. Odder still, the serviles here are what you're used to. Dumb, obedient, unquestioning servants. After meeting so many smart, independent serviles, this reversion to the norm catches you off guard. What the fuck is this place? Hey, J-Dub. Okay, this is interesting. Hostile. This is one of Heth's guards. Their soldiers are all common humans, well-armed, and properly trained. He watches you carefully, waiting for the slightest sign of hostile intent. What has been happening around here lately? Look around. We're getting ready to defend ourselves. Anything else you want to learn, you have to ask Commander Brent. Where can I find your superior? You want Commander Brent? He's in the main hall. Huh. Is this another faction? We're really starting to have them come fast and fierce. Mine. Doesn't say not yours, so they're mine. These living quarters are built so the merchants and visitors can have a place to stay without having to be allowed into town. It is a new construction, recently unoccupied. Oh, sorry, currently unoccupied. Another sign that workers here are preparing for war. Not mine, but maybe mine. There's no one here to see it, so how could anybody know? If you steal a chainmail forest, a chainmail vest in the forest, but nobody's around to see you did it, did you really commit a crime? No, absolutely not. Obviously not. Three living tools to open that. See, you get it. It wasn't mine, but now it is, so... dumpster diving around. There's a servile hiding in this abandoned home. He's filthy and hungry. However, he is neither stupid nor obedient. He watches you carefully, not sure how you'll react to him. Finally, he decides to simply say nothing. Who are you? He opens his mouth as if he's eager to say his name. Then he closes it again and looks away. The side of his mouth twitches. What are you doing back here? He trembles slightly and doesn't say anything. Anyways, my robe and my candle. I wish that we could drop food for him. Yeah? Okay. It'd be kind of neat if you could actually do that. I'm role-playing this game essentially as myself, by the way. I will steal anything. But also, I'm generally nice. The small building serves as a servile quarters. Geth's servant creations are tightly packed in here. Their smell is heavy in the air. Hopefully, they'll build some new servile quarters soon. You can't keep them packed like this for too long. It borders on illegal abuse and makes them unstable and prone to go rogue. I find it interesting that the Shapers have any laws about abusing these. I was going to say, this is a Shaper, right? Yeah. This woman is a young Shaper, even younger than you. Wisps of blonde hair poke out of her hood. Since she's so young, she must be an apprentice. Though you're both trainees, your situations are very different. She looks very uncomfortable, as if a parent caught her misbehaving. Oh, hello, fellow Shaper. I'm Dawn. I look after the serviles here. As she talks, she looks around, seeing if any of her charges need help. You look after the serviles here? Yes, many of the serviles in these mountains are independent and disobedient. I assure you that most of the serviles in Barzite lands are properly taught and maintained. They will do whatever you say. They need direction to help them build this town and not break things. I provide it and chase down the ones who run away. Ah, okay, so this is the Barzite town. What do the Barzites believe? We believe that the Shaper Council has held us back. We believe that we can attain a new, pure level of power. In the Radiant College, we will create a new form of Shaper. You should talk to Barzal. He can tell you what we are, what we believe, and what we offer. He's in Rising, west of here. Oh, the racists. Maybe. There's certainly a lot of factions that have tones of racism, although it's a little different. Like, it's not more excusable, but it's a weirder relationship, right? Because we have literally created these people. So it's a bit of a different dynamic than that. Man to robot, yes. Yeah. More just, I'm not necessarily saying that you don't get it, but just kind of expanding on it, because it's interesting. It's a really interesting dynamic. It's one of those things where when you start these games, I felt this way, I think, about Geneforge 1, the more that I think back on it. You start out and you're like, okay, it's kind of obvious what the ethical dilemma is here, right? Like, oh, we've made these things and now we're abusing them. That's pretty awful. But it then goes... It does the good job, at least Geneforge 1 did, and we'll see how this one does. I'll turn on my camera. Of going that step further, which I really enjoyed. Which is... it doesn't just ask, like, okay, is this right or wrong? Because it's obviously wrong. What it then does, though, is goes, okay, how do you correct this? And that's an interesting, meaty place to be, right? Like, that's where it's like, right, okay. Like, that is so much more interesting. In the last game, huge spoilers for if you want to play it, which, if you like these kinds of games, I really, really recommend it. Final Fantasy 16 really did nothing with that. A lot of the mainstream games don't, right? Like, they just kind of, they peck at the surface of it and just kind of walk away a bit. In Geneforge 1, as an example, they had some of the same factions. There were still Takers, and there were still Awakened. So the Takers, as I mentioned, they really wanted to... the Takers want to wage war on the Shapers. And they want to do that for their freedom, because they don't believe the Shapers will ever give it to them through diplomatic means, and also for justice. They don't deserve to have their society. Their society deserves to burn for what they've done to them. And then you have the Awakened. And like, I honestly, like, pretty much fully agree with that. The Awakened are trying to do a more pacifist approach to a similar thing. That they want to integrate into that society and become equals. And they want to make a more egalitarian society inside the confines of the Shaper society as it exists. And, like, they're trying to avoid a war. On our playthrough, we sided with the Takers. And it would seem like, okay, well, that's easy. Now you start your war with the Shapers. But of course, the Awakened are trying to stop that. They don't want you to have a war with the Shapers. They're trying to have diplomatic relationships with them. If you start a war as Serviles with them, they're going to immediately try and wipe out all of the Serviles. Like, you're going to wreck their side of the plan. And vice versa, right? So, of course, one of the first things that I have to do, like, I agree fully. Take a war to the Shapers. Let's go wreck them. They deserve to have their society reformed and destroyed. Like, and it's going to need to be by force, almost for sure. But the consequences of doing that are, I had to go out and kill the leader of the Awakened. Who's not a Shaper, it's just another Servile. It's another poor, sad soul that's been abused by these people that I have to remove as an obstacle to that goal. And the other way around also. Like, you have to wipe the other group out, basically. And it's like, it makes perfect sense. Of course you would have to do that. But also, fuck. Like, yeah, like, it's, oh damn. Yeah, it's not, it goes into it. It goes into it, right? Like, you have to really go in on it. And that's only the very start of it. That is not the end of that game. Not by a long shot. There are other factions and things that you definitely have to deal with. Or don't, because you can just leave that game immediately. It's an interesting game. There's a lot going on in it. But yeah, it'll demand questions like that from you. Like, okay, you believe in this cause. That's what this cause has to be. There you go. Like, how do you make that happen? How do you start this war? Well, you're going to have to remove the obstacles to getting the war going. That means some of these people have to go. Goodbye. Yeah, like, and same thing here. Like, these people are all preparing for wars. And I'm interested to see what Barzal has to offer. Like, so you're saying that they're racists, and it seems like, I mean, them saying, like, oh, we can attain a new pure level of power. They're saying that not in a racist way, not necessarily a better way, but the idea is the Geneforge, which they have stolen from Susha Island from the first game, is a artifact that allows them, because they can shape life. And the way that they're doing it right now is by bombarding a bunch of organic matter with magic. And then, like, testing out different, like, wavelengths of magic. Almost like it's, like, radiation onto an organic material and then mutating it into a new thing. And then they have thousands of experiments to go wrong and give negative mutations. And then they have some that go right. And then they record the ones that go right and then repeat it. Kind of thing. So they're doing this trial and error kind of style. They don't really know the mechanics of DNA and doing all this type of stuff. The Geneforge changes that. The Geneforge, they keep talking about it. They're like, did you know that inside of people there are magic scrolls that tell them how to be built? And with the Geneforge, we can see it. And then we can manipulate it at will. And so that's what they're talking about, a pure form of it. Because the Shapers were the council was terrified of it. And removed the Geneforge and banned Susha Island. So now, the Barzites are saying, hey, we've got the Geneforge. We can shape ourselves, which is illegal normally, and obviously very dangerous normally. But they're like, well, we can just, like, rearrange our DNA at will. We can become real gods. Like, we're worshipped as gods now, but wait until you see what we can really become. So that's what they're kind of talking about. You always get so much into the weeds, these. There's a lot of talking in this game, for sure. Ooh. They have their own factions, their own cities and plans. A shameful state. Fortifying Geth is a key step for correcting the problem. My number one key fell off, so I said the first choice. Because I was trying to put it back on. I was fiddling with things. Why are your serviles so obedient? We make them that way. We treat them the same way the Shaper Council demands. The way you're familiar with. The proper way. I'm starting to feel that may not be the right thing. She is very disappointed. I am sorry that these mountains are having their corrupting influence on you. I hope you have the chance to rethink what you're saying. Another question. Look up at the serviles here. What do the Barzites believe? Yeah. Do the serviles run away often? Yes. They are simple creatures, and the smart serviles confuse them. They get it into their tiny brains that they would be happier away from our protection, and they run off. If you would like to help out a fellow apprentice, there's a way you can help me. You could track down a few serviles we've run off. I'm gonna say yes, but for underhanded means. Dawn smiles. That would be kind. You see, there is this servile witch living due west of here, on the east side of the river. I have been told not to harm her. Unfortunately, she tends to draw fleeing serviles to her. If you happen to be there, see if you can get any of the escapees to come back. A servile witch? Ah, in case you didn't know, some serviles in these mountains have learned to do magic. She smiles. Another problem to be corrected. In time. What is the witch's name? Not sure. Dar something. Another question. How's your training going? Slowly. My master, Gareth, is very busy. He promises me that soon I can go west to the Radiant College and be trained and remade. I don't know what it means exactly, to be remade, but I have seen what it did for Gareth. It brings great power. So everybody seems like they've got a piece of the Geneforge, maybe. Some of the knowledge, but maybe not all of it. Because the Awakened also are doing some remaking. Because, so as you're saying, like, oh no, she's a witch. For them, it is, oh no, she's a witch. The Serviles are specifically created to not have any ability for magic. Hey, Egrets, good to see you. Thank you for that resub for 3 months. Good to have you here. So they're not supposed to be able to do any magic, and especially not any of the specific magic, which is shaping. Right? Like, the very, very high-end magic that the Shapers do. And the Awakened have gotten part of the Geneforge, or like some... I don't know if they have... if there's multiple Geneforges now, or what exactly. But they have found a way to alter themselves. And remove that part from their DNA, basically. And so now they can actually cast spells again, which is, like, extremely disturbing to Shapers. Because that obviously threatens their hierarchy. Very good for what we want to do. Just burn this to the ground. These quarters are where the rulers of Heth and their honored guests will sleep. Like much of the town, they are not yet complete. Only the second bedroom is currently being used. The demon's name was extremely over the top, yes. There is a demon that we are hunting, actually. A literal demon. We found some infernals, and one infernal wants us to hunt the other demons down. The infernal that we're helping is named the Emissary. The other infernal, they're not higher dimensional beings so much as lower dimensional beings. But I know what you mean. Yes. Higher for sure, yes. It was very funny when we talked to the Emissary last time, and she was telling us to hunt the demons. She's like, oh god, the one in the mines that you have to hunt calls itself the Aspects of Chaos. Or the Aspect of Chaos. She's like really down on it, like, oh, this fucking edgy loser. Like, it really leans into it, which was very funny. It was a good joke. They did a good job of being like, oh my god, some of these newer infernals, these stupid demons, some of the younger demons can be really, something, and it's like, okay. And when they make the contract with mortals, higher dimensional beings. Yes, that's us. There are many serviles hard at work in Heth. They are tearing down old buildings, making new ones, and replacing wooden walls with stone. When you get close, the servile obediently turns towards you and bows its head. Who gives you your orders? Dawn. She is my master. She works near the servile quarters. It's been happening around here lately. I'm told to work on the town, to build things. That is what I was made to do. Ugh. I love that we're now getting into the meat of this game, because there was a lot of, like, the setup where it seems very basic, right? Where it's like, okay, yeah, we get it. It's a shitty society, damn. And you're like, okay, I guess we're just gonna have to fight the Shapers, and that's the thing. But knowing how I know from Geneforge 1 that it, like, oh, it goes so much more than that, and now it's starting to show that. We are in a Shaper town. We are in, specifically, a Barzite town now, some egrets. Shaping Hall, Barzites only. Outsiders will be slain. When you get close to this door, a guard storms up and stops you. Where are you going? He shouts. Such contempt from a common human is surprising and a little shocking. Outside these mountains, you could have this man clapped in irons. Only Barzites are allowed in the Shaping Halls here. Shaper or not. Entry is forbidden. Stay out, or your life will be forfeit. Thing is, we had wanted to talk to the leader of this town. It does sound like an excuse to sneak in, but I don't think there's a great way to do that. The big thing is I want to talk to the leader of this town. Here we go. Though Heth is meant to be a fortress, the builders felt they had room for a little bit of ostentation. This meeting hall is quite nice, even luxurious by the crude standards of these mountains. Soon, generals and warriors will meet here to plan battle strategy. They just can't yet be sure who they'll be fighting. There's so many factions, God. So many factions here. Alright, Commander Brent. Here we go. You meet the commander of Heth, a short, muscular, common human with a trimmed beard. He smiles nervously when you approach, determined to be cordial until he discovers your purpose. He's an awkward fellow, doubtless skilled with a blade, but he stutters and laughs at odd moments. I'm Commander Brent of the Barzites, Shaper. I see you've found your way to me. I trust you're not going to trouble us? We grant you access to Heth as a gesture of peace. We're not going to trouble each other, yes? What are the Barzites? We are the ones who follow Barzal. He leads us, you see. Makes us strong. We're afraid of the Shaper leaders. When the Shaper Council learns of us, they will scourge us. Barzal is looking for allies. You can find him west of here, in Rising. I think he would like to meet you. Why should I join Barzal? Power. So much power. You'll see. He's like the other Shapers, but more directed. More pure. Yes? Okay. I'm getting the feeling that I really do not like Barzal. Strength. Years ago, the Shapers found fantastic power. They invented the Geneforge. We could have elevated ourselves to a new realm, but we rejected it. We discarded it. Then, through a miracle, we found the power again, and we're never giving it up. Ever! To learn more than that, you need to speak with Barzal. He'll tell you about the power has been promised to all of us. The Geneforge? I'm sorry, Shaper. I shouldn't have mentioned it. I'll be honest. I don't know what the Geneforge is. Barzal says it's an engine that will bring us great power. When it's complete, we'll all learn of its glory. Okay. Ooh, it's not fixed this time. Another question. My teacher's name is Shanty. She's lost. Where can I find her? Brent frowns. He suddenly looks very uncomfortable. Oh, yes? Shanty? Not familiar with the name. Not a clue. He's lying. You're sure of it. Oh, hey, original Animorph. Good to see you. It has been a while. I've been, broken. But hopefully recovering. It's good to see you. Other than that, things have been great. You're lying. I must find Shanty. Tell me where she is. Now. You stand up tall and summon your full Shaper authority. Brent is a leader and a warrior, but he's not one of your kind. He, like all commons, is terrified of you. He shrinks back and says, Shaper, I'm so sorry. She was taken through here. She was taken west. To Rising, I think. I don't know anything about it. That's all for now. Alright. I'm guessing that Shanty's going to side with them. Been looking here and there. Hope things get better. Yeah, I hope so. How have you been? What have you been up to? I imagine you've been busy. God, use our final lockpick for the door. Fine. I mean, lockpick. Living tool. I don't know that was worth it, but... I do like exploring everything, which is why we got mechanics in the first place, that we can do all the lockpicking. Nothing of value. What is this book? The Barzite Way. Ooh, yeah, I'm really getting bad vibes from the Barzites. The goal of the Barzites is to bring purity to all humans. What is purity? To answer this question, we must ask, what is impurity? To be impure is to be unable to do whatever you want to do. Limits are impurity. Shaper law is nothing but limits. Shapers are inherently impure. To bar something is to accept weakness. There may be limits to what we Barzites are willing to accomplish, but we have not found them yet. In the midst of a Kickstarter for your stream. Oh, hell yeah! Got a new job, too? That's rad. You can go ahead and link your Kickstarter if you'd like. Magical solve sits. Yeah, we've basically found this feels like, oh great, we've got ANCAPs. Yeah. We've got the ANCAPs, the liberals, and the anarchists. / revolutionaries. Speaking of sneaking in... Damn it! I used my lockpick! I used my living tool. Let's find somewhere to buy them. Yeah, somebody's selling some tools around here. No, no, no. You do not get to drink my coffee. I'm guessing by solve sits you mean sovereign citizens. Because, yeah, that seems accurate. Yeah, okay. It took me a minute because I'm like, Soviet? No. I've never heard of them as solve sits, but yeah. Let's sell something. Why can't I... Just a second. There was a few things in our junk that I remember we actually didn't want to sell. Oh, right. I can just go in my junk bag right now because we're in town. I don't know why it wasn't letting us look, but sure. If I remember correctly, there was something that I was like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't get rid of that. Yeah, of course. I understand, Bander. I appreciate you asking, but... we're such a tiny little community now. You're more than welcome to do that. It might be a good idea, too, to put it up in the Discord. Because we do have that self-promo channel. So you can always... hop on in there. If it will work. One moment. Cloudbot, please. Forgot about it. You're in the Discord. I figured you were, but just, you know, here. Do it anyways. Just for everybody watching. Outer Realms, a live actual play D&D 5th edition story. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, nice. And you've already got your goal, too. I imagine you've got some stretch stuff. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, you do. Oh, that's sick. Okay. I'll have to take a look at that. I know there's a lot of people that are into tabletop gaming in our Discord, so... I'm sure people will be very excited to see that. We have a few writers of things like that. Some professionals. Trying to remember what we needed. Oh, right. There were some ingredient quests that we had. Oh, Lord. Hopefully you've improved. Nice, nice. Fair enough, yeah. In our journal... There is the Mighty Shield. So we have black scale, black crystal powder, purified essence. We're getting so much stuff now. Shard of crystal, Drake. We don't have that. There was also the sword that we could make. It looks like we're okay to just sell stuff. I think we're fine. Oh, you did the title card in Blender and you've never used it? It's hellish? Yeah, learning those programs is a lot. They're very, very powerful, but figuring them out is not simple. I've been doing new audio processing on the podcast, which went live today. Speaking of selling yourself, but I've been doing more, instead of doing it in Audacity, which is like really rudimentary, we've been doing it in Reaper now, and it's not like super complicated, and I've done a lot of that kind of stuff before, but it's just always a pain to learn a new program. Ooh, podcast? Oh yeah, no, we have almost 200 episodes now about good boys and bad movies. Bad dog movies. Like 5 years ago now is when we started. I got a... so I personally think that it was a very funny origin for that. In that I did a bounty on Twitch. So, like, they have... Every once in a while, you'll get paid to do a thing, right? And you can choose to do it or not. They wanted me to talk over... And they said, no requirements for what you talk about, but just watch this NBA 2K 2019 finals esports thing, and you can talk over it. So I got Boix on, and we sat back and forth and read off the Air Bud script. Through the whole thing. And then we went, wait, we should just watch Air Bud and do a podcast on it. And then we did. So we watch a dog movie and then rate all of the dogs in it. Dog movie. You know, like our latest one that I put up today, episode 190. Which is, Underworld Blood Wars. It's got dogs. There's lots of dogs in that. Won't open, huh? Interesting. Somebody's gotta sell tools here. Come on. Alright, also, we're gonna do this really quickly. Gates, sure. Just so we can see what's in every direction. Rising Bridge. Okay. Head towards the town of Rising. So, it is really interesting. Because the first group of serviles that we met that said they were going to kill us for being shapers said they came from Rising. And they were intelligent serviles that had rebelled. But now we meet the Barzites, which control Rising, and they're like, no, we're granting purity to those that deserve it. And that does not seem to be their servants. So, huh. Interested to see how that turned out. Hello? I'd like to do some shopping. Yes, please. A single living tool for 69. Alright. Anything else? No, I'm good. Have a good night, Animorph. See you in another 8 months. Yeah. Well, hopefully I see you before then. Maybe I'll be able to stop by your D&D thing. At least be able to listen to it. Are you going to be putting it up on, like, YouTube afterwards or anything? I'm always looking for things to watch as VODs and stuff while I work. Make sure to put it up in the Discord, in any case. Because I'd love to check it out. Can't guarantee I can, because there's just always more things to see, but... you might have a chance to remember it that way. This servile is unusually tall and thin. He has a sharp nose and bright eyes. He's cunning, even by human standards. He sits at the table and swigs ale. When he sees you, he raises his mug. Ah, the visitor, the honored shaper. Welcome, have a seat. I'm Finchy. Okay, so, yeah, what the fuck? They don't let most of the shapers... You're smart. Smart for a servile, you mean? No, I'm not one of those obedient serviles you shapers love so much. I work hard and make my own way. Or, I try to when I'm not being tormented. How are you tormented? The Barzites. They tear everything down, spread rogues around, turn our small happy village into a fortress. Don't get me wrong, the Barzites are in charge, but I don't like everything they do. What hard work do you do? Lately, I've been a fisherman. Quiet life. I pull fish out of the river south of here, sell them in town for money. Then the Barzites, bless their hearts, set Thads loose in my lands. They did it, they say, to help guard against invaders. Fine for them, but I lost everything I own. Some of those things I found in the fen, and they were valuable. What did you lose? Heh, valuable little swamp stuff. I'll tell you how to find out. Look under the bed in my house. It's along the river a few miles south of Gath. Bring what you find there to me. I'll pay you well for the trouble. Will you do it? Monday nights at 7 Central. All right. Okay, cool. You do have a podcast for it. Awesome. Yeah, an RSS feed would be nice. I do a lot of podcast listening, too. Sure, I'll do it. He smiles and pulls a key from his pocket for you. You'll need that. There's something under the bed. Bring it, and I'll be in your debt. Any dangers I should know about? I haven't been there for a while, but I hear there are rogues along the road. You might be able to sneak in my house along the river if you keep your distance from them. Stealth is a powerful weapon. Anything else I should know about your home? He gives you a mischievous smile. Path leads away from my house to the west. Don't neglect it. It leads somewhere very interesting. He acts like he's playing a prank. But on who? What do you do around here? Since I lost my fishing hut? Travel. Scavenge. Look for things to trade and sell. Don't have anything good right now, or I'd try to sell you something. I have seen some interesting things, though. What have you seen? Oh, there's someone skulking around north of town. Watching us. Maybe a spy. You might learn something interesting if you track him down before the Barzites do. Where do you scavenge? Well, there's a cave north of here. Crazy shaper lives in there. Makes machinery, clockworks, weird stuff that's half alive and moves around sometimes and loses parts. The parts are what I find and sell. Harder to do that now, though. Something weird has happened and the clockworks are more dangerous. One tried to chase me down, even. I'd stay away from there if I wasn't well armed. Like, shaper strength. What's this shaper's name? She calls herself Alicia? Anything else you can tell me about her? Haven't seen her in a long while. She used to come out here to barter for bits of creations, components, chunks of drakes, that sort of thing. She must have quite a collection in there. I like Finchy. I'm very subtle. Find a concealed button and press it. Nothing happens. Interesting. Huh. So there's some kind of order to do a thing there. And, as we mentioned before, we can sneak into the Shaper Hall. And we do have a lockpick now. Or living tool. Let's talk to this servile. Okay. Yeah. Same as all the other serviles in town. You sneak into the Geth Shaping Hall. These halls are under construction, and nobody's back here at the moment. You walk very quietly. If anyone sees you back here, the town will turn on you in an instant. I only got one experience point for picking that lock. It's a little sad. What is down here? Ooh. So they've got some nasty experimental chambers. We know this is like a magical airlock where they can just, like, send through fire to purge bad creations kind of thing. Let's save. Lockpicks. Probably for this too. Oh, wait. Now I can get in at will, because that was that other basement that we were allowed to go into. I can get in a lot easier. At least into this underground area. Anything on the floor? No, there's nothing. So there's the locked door and that's it. Did we look in here? Right here. Very ordinary, unused shaping hall. This is a very unusual shaping hall. The platforms to either side are to be expected. However, what gets your attention are the metal tanks. These are large shaping vats, salvaged from some abandoned shaping halls. They were brought here and restored with great effort. Heth will be producing its own defenders soon. Powerful creations and in quantity. You read the book, looking for some clue to what sort of creations they are planning to make here. Well, there are lots of notes about the operation of the tanks, and the many steps needed to get the chemical balance of the tank broth just right. There's no mention of what the tanks are actually for. Guards talking to them just south. Fuck. I see. Okay. I know I should live with my consequences, but that's kind of not possible all the time in this. When it said south, I thought it meant, like, south, not the one immediately to the side, was the problem. That's kind of why I also feel like I can take that one back. I wanted to live with my choice here a bit, but also I can't really do that when I thought that it meant, like, south, not, you know, the next room there. Oh ho ho ho. I just shit. That's gonna murder me. Fuck. A line maybe? I think we're done exploring there. Oh ho ho ho. This canister can shape you and improve this ability. Life Drain. The next melee or missile attack this character makes gives Life Drain status to the attacker. Damaging foes will heal you. I don't really have a way to sense them out of line of sight. No, not unless the game tells me. It did tell us for that one group, right? Where it was like, oh, we can hear them. But if we can't hear them, if it's just a lone person standing down the hall... I mean, I was making a very dangerous choice. So go to Rising Bridge. Go to the swamps in the north and check out that spy that we were told about. I kind of want to see that. Those are Heth Sentinels or whatever. South, right, west. Upper Research Hall is east. Okay. This common warrior is patrolling. Is patrolling the fields north of Geth. He is well armed, and his blade and armor look newly forged. Geth clearly has a lot of resources. Unsurprisingly, the presence of a Shaper worries him. The commons almost always fear your kind, and you are a stranger. He says, "Welcome to our lands, Shaper. We Barzites wish you peace. I hope you give the same to us." I am but a soldier. I'm not wise enough to explain our ways. My little band has only been here for a year, drawn by what the great Barzal offers. You can learn more of our ways in Geth. What are you on the lookout for? Rogues, invaders, awakened, takers, anyone who'd bother us. Anything I should know about the area? Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. There's an eccentric old Shaper who lives in the caves to the north, making machines. I'd keep away from there. Her creations can be unpredictable. Yeah, there's not really... They might have utility magic for that in some way. Not that I know of, though. Also, where is this life drain? There it is. Oh, it's another weapon shaping thing. So we'd actually need melee ability to do that. These narrow, rocky ravines are littered with trash. You see chunks of metal, broken tools, and other junk. A lot of it is half buried. Someone's been dumping trash here for a long time. There are two sorts of footprints in the ground. Most are serviles who've been scavenging the area extensively. But there are also tracks of something very large, with very heavy feet. These footprints have formed a long, deep rut in the ground, going east to west. Something huge patrols here. Hello. Guessing this. You encounter a huge golem patrolling these dusty ravines. It has a rock shell, like all such magical creations. However, it is cracked in many places, revealing its innards. In some places, you can see machinery. In others, you see pulsing, fleshy material. The creature is a weird combination of magic, shaping, and machinery. It emits ringing, clicking, and buzzing sounds, the product of clockwork machinery buried within its shaped flesh. I've never seen anything like it. The golem looks down at you, processing you with an alien intelligence. It says, "You, intruder, unallowed. Retreat from entryway, or hostilities." Some of the exposed machinery looks vulnerable. If you are quick, you might get a living tool into its chest and deactivate it. I need more tools. But yeah, there might be utility magic like that. I just don't know it. Because like I didn't know about the life drain until we found it a minute ago either. Just wanted to add another spot on our map. So I've got to imagine that Finchy was not talking about the spy being the Shaper, because he also mentioned the Shaper and seemed to know her. That doesn't seem like the one watching. So who's here? You find a nest. The ground around it has the tracks of a large, clawed creation. Some of the tracks are fresh, some are old. Goes out hunting a lot, whatever it is. Ooh, shiny. And it's breeding! Goody. Ooh, do not lay on the keyboard, cat. Ooh, no, cat, kitty. Oh, bud. Sorry, a second. I just did a big stretch and like almost went across the whole keyboard. But yeah, it's a good point, Egrets. I don't know. I'm guessing there isn't that kind of utility magic. But honestly, I don't know. There is a stealth mechanic, but we just don't really have any. See, like, you can level up stealth. So we would have probably been able to see them in our line of sight and sneak past them. But I just don't actually have that. I don't know if there's, like, a scout kind of spell that would, like, reveal part of the map in some way. I did do a save there. It tried to load, and so then I saved again just in case. Private valleys. Work happening. Stay out. Agent Phipps. Alright, this is the person, I'm sure. You are very surprised to meet an agent hiding here. She's dirty and tired, but she maintains herself with calm and dignity appropriate to a Shaper. She seems glad to see you. Ah, this scouting run has turned much better than I thought it would. Hello. If you are Shaper Geef, yes? Shaper Geef, sorry. I'm Agent Phipps. I have some information that'd be interesting to you. How do you know my name? Well, these mountains are small, Geef. Scouts, spies, and merchants travel everywhere, even through Takerlands. You and Agent Shanty hadn't been here more than 2 days before everyone was aware of you. Okay, so where are you scouting? I'm watching Heth, seeing how far along the Barzite preparations are. There are lots of dangerous rebels and rogues up here. I don't think the Barzites are the worst threat, but they are dangerous. Before I get back to base, I'll also learn what the Takers have been doing. Where's your base? I'm from the settlement of Loyalists due west of here. I have been spying. I went as far east as Freegate, and now I'm heading back. Okay, wait, so there's another faction? So there's the actual Shapers at Dry Peak under Zachary. But then there's Loyalists. And I guess maybe they just got separated? The Takers. The most mad of the mad. They live in the high mountains to the northwest. Those fools actually long for an open war with the Shapers. Suppose that is a good quality. It'll enable us to find and exterminate them more efficiently. They always call... It's always very funny how everyone talks about, like, oh my god, the Takers, they're so mad. They're going to start a war. Could you imagine? For freedom and justice. Oh. Yeah, I mean... I kind of loved how they did that last time. Like, they set up a lot of the villains, quote-unquote, as being like, oh, no, like, man, they're wild, they'll do anything. And it's like, we want to start a war because these people have had enslaved an entire group, and we need our freedom, and we think that the only way we can get it is by force. And you're like... yeah, seems... okay, yeah. It also makes sense that everyone else would think that that's, like... fucked. Alright, what do you need to tell me? Not everyone west of the Free Gate is disloyal to the Shaper Council. There is a settlement of us due west of here. Shaper Zachary sent us. We're well hidden on the west side of the river. You should come see us. We could use the help, and you could probably use contact with someone who still follows the law. Huh. How long have you lived in these mountains? We Loyalists came here after Zachary did. Lived in Dry Peak for some time without knowing about the madness brewing here. When we found out, Zachary pretended he knew nothing and sent us west to scout. We'd been out here a few months when you and your agent arrived. How long have we been hidden here? Not long. When you found the tunnel to Free Gate, Shaper Zachary could no longer pretend rebels weren't here. He knows the Shaper Council will send forces here soon, and he wants to look as loyal as he can. That's why he sent us. We're to watch the Barzites and Takers, harass them when possible, send Zachary all the intelligence we can, and help you if you need it. Got another question. Okay. Looking for my teacher, Agent Shanti. Have you seen her? She looks worried. Oh, I'd heard rumors of Agent Shanti coming west, but that's all. I'd hoped to find her. Oh dear. It's probably nothing, but you might want to investigate the groves west of here. One of our scouts said he saw some rebels around there. They looked like they had a prisoner. Yes, don't forget. Due west. Come visit us. Resist the temptations of the rebels. They make many promises, but they'll only bring you the vengeance of the council. She calmly turns and runs off, heading west. It is a hell of a way to enter a stream, Ghidorah. There's a reason why. What do you say to that? The answer, I think, is nothing. Which is why I said nothing. Some people just want to see a rise. So it's kind of like a sixth faction? God, how many factions are we on now? We're on a lot of factions here. Make sure that we're healed. Let's go find things for Finchy. I don't know why I did that. Walked right into them, and I did it again. Whatever. This one's a little bit of a better setup. Ow. And stun. Maybe? Okay, got some dazes. That's great. That one explodes. That jumps. Oh, God. Leaped onto us. Managed to get a daze on all of them. 6 turns. 10 turns. And 2 turns. Cool. Here's the problem. That thing's gonna explode when it dies. Gotta say, I'm not a fan of that. Well. Yeah. I was gonna say, that's gonna just chain reaction the fuck out of that, isn't it? Oh, this area is just awful. I think it's gonna just die. Yeah. Let's look at our journal again. So the stuff for Finchy. Somewhere south of the F, he gave you a key. So we know it might be this one. There was this area here that we already went through, and I did have to use some lockpicking for it, so hopefully that's not it. It sucked to have used it, and then we just get a key. Save again. If we can just get, like... one of these at a time. Problem, of course, is they always call for friends. Hey, Cormorants. Going great. We're Gene for Gene. Oh, they are coming. Oh, boy. Oh, and that one's gonna blow up. Neat. Very cool. I can keep those two off of us. If we can keep that one off. So that's just gonna die to acid. So honestly, makes sense for us to do this. Nice. You look under the bed. There is, indeed, an item hidden there. Something wrapped in a dirty square of linen. You unfold it and find something precious and rare. A fresh piece of mandrake root. Ooh. We know that's important. Yeah, and they told us about being a fisherman, so now it makes sense there's all the fishing poles in here. It also said that there was a road to the west of there? Okay, so I think they were just setting us on the path to find... What? Yeah, weird. I think they were just setting us on the path to find the Cholet. Cool. If we can just separate them out like this, we've got a really good chance. But yeah, it's going great, Cormorants. We've had an interesting evening so far. Lots of cool things happening in the game. The game's really... Oh, God, we pulled in this group, too. The game's really starting to set off now. And then we also had an old viewer come by and talk about their cool D&D campaign they're kickstarting for, doing like a podcast on. And somebody that came in and talked about how this game made them feel pregnant. So it's been a land of contrasts today. Blow up. Fuck. Man, that is a lot of damage. We found the Barzites as a new faction. We found the Cholet last time. Oh, right. Oh, right. We actually have to make it back because this is a red zone still. We can't just do our normal trick of go any exit and then go north kind of thing. We have to actually sneak past. Alright, not too bad. Behind the house isn't the worst thing. Let's go return this to Finchy. Yeah, I don't know how much you've been following along with the story, Cormorants, but we're in a hell of an interesting spot. Finchy sits, drinks, makes small talk with you. Alright. Sometimes the cunning servile tries to trick you into minor wagers on games. Here's the mandrake. This level is great. He inspects the mandrake, making sure that it's still fresh. The mandrake is twitching slightly. He nods. Good. I have an order for this item from the Radiant College. As a fair trade, I'll give you something else. I don't need these anymore. He opens up a pouch and takes out several gemstones. Gives them to you. Stupid fucking Barzites. Okay. We really need... I want to just get more leadership and mechanics, but also I do need some kind of, like, battle skills at this point. If we're going to do all the combat things. We've got a fair bit of essence. We've got some spellcraft. So, like, we're good on, like, amount of magic for the most part. We might want to, like, up our battle shaping. Oh, I could go and look. Yeah, I can see if they went on the floor. They might just go on the ground. Good point. Yeah, they're on the ground. Yep. Okay, so we have to get Blessing Magic to 2 to use that, which we really need. I feel like that protection has been something that we're missing. So many good things to do, so little time. So if we go Blessing Magic, so we can cast Protection. Then Battle Magic. And then for our last 4 points, do more Battle Shaping. Get a better front line. I think that makes sense. Have it act faster. Yeah, let's improve our genes here. Alright. Better blue genes. Perfect. All right. We could continue on our path to rising. Now I kind of want to talk to the takers too. Let's go meet Barzal. Barzal seems like a real fucker. But we had this happen last game where there was someone who was set up to be a fucker and then we talked to them and it... That was a lot of battle alphas. I don't think I can take one battle alpha. Let's get their nest real fast. And then run. So, like, we'll see what they say first. Oh my god. Huh. They're really not making this easy to go and see their leader, huh? As much as they said, hey, you should come and see Barzal. They're not going to just give it to us. Yeah, I was going to say, the worst part is these are going to catch us from behind. I didn't mean to go 8. Yeah. Get back 1, and I think we can hit them all. At least if we go this way, those turrets can't get us. Let's cast protection. I do have a plan to try and take this group, actually. Yeah, our poor little doggo in the death screen's real good. Okay, it's poison and acid. I think we can take this whole area if we actually do it slow and smart. Oh, I do hit my own. Fuck, I thought that I missed it. Well, that's unfortunate. I can at least get a heal. God, the haste is so good. Damn it. Okay. Can't go around with only one gene. So that should stay dead, and we're now... We need 1,200 more experience. Big problem is getting this battle alpha into the fight too, maybe. It wouldn't be able to. Can we hit that? Or are we one square short? Or one square short. Alright. That might mean from here? Yes. Okay. Closer. Unfortunately. Attack that one. This one. Fuck. Thought I could breathe on it. Should have used them the other way around. Oof. Gave acid. Oh, that's bad. Still, as mentioned, it looks like we can handle this. It's just not easy. Everybody. Oh, good. It got us. Oh, this thing spawns more of them. Fuck. We're gonna shoot that, and then... Close. No! Right as we did it. Okay, if you can distract them long... Got a new one up just in time? Oh, get out of here. I think we can get out fast enough, though. Yeah. Thankfully, that being a turret. Woo. Thank you for the little dino dance, Arzu. Speaking of thank yous, by the way, I was looking today because I uploaded the new episode of the podcast. And we are on course to get, like, double plus the viewers of last year. Like, basically, last year was our best year for the downloads on the podcast ever, and we're basically at double that. Which is red. Like, we're already at that kind of level, and it looks like we're going to... I mean, we have half a year left, and it's been going up every month for the entire year, so I'm guessing that we're going to get like 150, maybe 200% increase on our viewership this year, which is sick. Really, really cool. And I appreciate that. So whoever has been telling people to download our podcast or finding it somehow, thank you. It means a lot. That podcast hasn't always been the cheapest to do, but it's been a lot of fun. And actually seeing it gain a lot of traction this year is cool. Alright, get our buffs going. I do wish it would, like, highlight characters in red if we were going to hit them. Fuck. Looked like we weren't. Ow. It's always interesting that the misses still get knocked back. Hey. Don't leak at my caster. Speaking of good news, by the way, I'm hoping that tomorrow I might, these fingers crossed, I might be able to do an Elden Ring stream. Maybe. I'm going to try, depending on what news I get, because I do have an appointment to get this, and not taken off, but, sorry, just, it's weird driving, by the way, and being like, you know, using the steering wheel and just like, God, I hope nobody gets mad at me. But, I have an appointment tomorrow to get this, like, weaned off, hopefully, and start doing some exercises and stuff. So I'll talk to her and see, like, could I hold a controller? Is that a thing that I'm allowed to do yet? If I'm gonna break a finger and have a big, obvious colored splint on it, it's the right one. It sure is, yeah. Sorry, no, this is the right one. This is the left one. Yeah, got him. Illegal. You saw that finger, you'd just sooner read it as a great popsicle than the bird. Fair. can't quite get there. Alright, well, we'll wait. Very nice. Send this one scouting. This one back this way. We've got all of our buffs up, so I don't want to waste it if we don't have to. See if there's anything else here. There we go. I wish there was... Oh, I wish there was a way to actually see how long they were going to be buffed still. You can see, like, debuffs on enemies, but I don't know of where we can see that. Maybe here. There we go. Shielded. But not hasted anymore. Gotcha. Shielding should leave in a second. Let's see if there's anything back here. Oh, there's a crystal. Nothing else. I feel like people would think of the, look at this weirdo holding a great popsicles they drive. Generally, I feel like I get more of the, look at this weirdo because of more like, I have my music cranked up and I'm wearing like a bunch of rings and necklace and have colored hair and there's a lot of reasons that I think people will give me second looks. Or third looks. The popsicle that would push it over the edge, though. That's true. I did have people notice that this was appropriately themed for my hair, which was nice, at the last wedding that we did. This shaping hall was built recently, but, from the look of things, not yet seriously used. It's a proper facility. Actual shapers had a hand in its construction. There are 2 large shaping vats in the hall. They aren't new. They're probably salvaged and dragged here from an abandoned mountain workshop. Fresh, delicate creations will be sealed inside to absorb nutrients and grow. You're much more likely to have a colored popsicle, to have a popsicle and colored hair, rings, or necklaces. You're not Mr. T. That's fair. Not really Mr. Anything. Wiry moss. These herbs can be made into interesting brews and potions. Sure. Here. It's worth money, that's the important thing. Heals, baby. You can wear a watch. I do actually, quite a bit. I have a nice watch that I had for my wedding. I mean, nice. It was like $100 at the time. And also, it's nice to have while I do weddings, so that I can actually like you know, see what time it is, know when we need to go places without having to be the jerk that goes, oh, I'm looking at my phone. Like, you don't want to do that while you're working, so it's better to just have the watch instead. You physically resemble Mr. Potato Head. I would say that I do too, except that I don't. I like to think that I don't like to think that I do, but I have a feeling I do, except, well, hair, finger, tattoo. I really want to get, like, labret piercing. I want to get a something there, I think. Rejuvenation and incubation station. Old Rising Bridge is north, and Rising Bridge is south. Fuck. I should have walked forward. Can we hit that? Damn, just short. Thanks. Now you're picturing punk Mr. Potato Head. I would do it. Sounds great. That's Mr. Punctato Head. Nice miss. And an easy. Calls himself Spud Skull. There's a wide, sturdy stone bridge spanning the river ahead. Unlike many structures in the mountains, it was built only recently. It can support a lot of traffic. The buildings flanking it provide storage space and a safe refuge for troops and merchants passing through. Though the bridge is large and well guarded, something is amiss. The battle alphas guarding it wander around aimlessly. The turrets on the bridge are sickly and poorly fed. Nobody's here to watch over them. Battle alphas without a guardian are unpredictable and dangerous. You wonder who left them alone here. So did Rising lose a battle recently? MTG's working on the Mr. Potato Head set. Please stand by. I mean, is Mr. Potato Head a Hasbro property? Because I wouldn't be surprised then. There's gotta be themed Potato Head toys, right? Are there, like, you say that there aren't, but are there not? I don't know. I can't say that I'm an expert enough on Mr. Potato Head to know. That bridge looks like a no-no. That bridge looks like a yes, in that I need to cross it. Been Hasbro since '52, apparently. Dang. They've Universe Beyonded Mr. Potato Head. Have they actually? Like, I honestly feel like they could have. That's the thing, is I don't know. I feel like that's actually reasonable. Oh, you mean Universe Beyond it in that there's a bunch of themed ones. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do remember the Star Wars potato heads. Yes, I remember that. Transformers, Spider-Man, Indiana Jones. Okay. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, man. I do remember seeing the Star Wars one. Ow. Oh, there's one in there too? Oh, God. Yeah, okay, that's gonna get me. We're closer to doing that than you'd think, actually. Like, look at us just wreck this. And that's without any buffs. They tempted you into buying the latest secret lair. Loaf sneeze. No! Those aren't printed demand anymore, so it was completely sold out. Oh, good. Poof. Hooray, artificial scarcity to prop up scalpers. Yup. Yes, they did. I did see the Tim the Enchanter. I don't know. See, I had somebody talking about that a little while ago, and I kind of agree. Because, like, they're now just naming the cards goofy names, and that sounds weird, because you're like, well, there was lots of goofy stuff back in the day. But a lot of it felt like natural. Prodigal Sorcerer was a goofy-looking card with goofy art and sometimes some goofy flavor text. But the name Prodigal Sorcerer and stuff like is kind of serious. So when people nickname it Tim the Enchanter, it feels very natural and just kind of like, you know, community-driven stuff. Whereas it's not the same when it's... Ooh. You know, not the same. Oh, God, the Comic Sans drop. Ugh. Like, I don't even think that Comic Sans is actually that bad of a song. But just... Got a meme for the kids is just... Oof. Yeah, gotta accept your corporate nickname. It really feels like that. We have a different plan this time. I think it's a better one. Oh, shit. Okay, good. That knockback was actually excellent for us. Oh, going to bed?
Yeah.
No, it is, yeah. Fuck, it can hit us from there. My plan was to start the fight, pull the alphas, and then back up. Yeah, Comic Sans isn't bad. It's just overused and done poorly. Attract those ones. Let's go. Good. Oh, it knocked us back! I thought that we died. Oh my god. That was actually perfect. Hey! Welcome, Zelos. Holy shit, that was ideal. I can't believe that worked out. So, neither of them are poisoned yet. Ooh, and hasted. Let's give them both some poison. All according to Keikaku. This is the cutoff. Excellent. Yeah, because now it can't do it. Alright. Go here and heal up. Finally woke up after your post-league run nap. Nice. What league were you in? Were you doing like League of Legends, or what you up to? I've been playing a lot of Teamfight Tactics. I won't lie. Got back into it bad for some reason. The other thing that I've been really looking at... Oh, Sealed League for Eternal. Ah, right. Nice. 33-7. Damn, good for you. I always forget who's the Eternal sickos. I've been really getting interested in cards again. Not necessarily Eternal or Magic. Definitely not Magic. But I've actually been, watching poker. Like a real sicko. Sid Meier's Magic isn't cards, though. 4th top 10 league. Damn, good for you. Okay. Once again, these knockbacks are just doing our job for us. Yeah, I'd love a better version of Chandelar. It's a neat game. It's a really neat game. You got hooked on Hearthstone again. Oh. I never could wrap my brain around Hearthstone in the ways that I want. It's I don't know. It feels too basic, but also too advanced in ways that I don't get, if that makes sense. Which, like, that's my own problem. I just can't seem to figure it out, but I want me there. Energy and essence. Thought Hearthstone was really boring. Yeah. That's kind of what I mean. Like, it felt both. Hello? Thank you. Please come with me. Still another one. Alright. So now, let's take on the turrets. Oh my god, that crit though. Please, quick action. Christ. Oh! Maybe you're right. Man, this... Like... Getting the rest of it, not so bad. But man, this bridge. I'm wondering if the right thing to do is to just run through and get the thing that regrows them. Okay, so they're probably immune to daze. Since I can't quite get there. No quick action. That's something. Oh, what? Oh, weird. I thought we determined that this was the line. Guess not. We'll do a third gene now, yeah. The rare 3 genes. I guess I can take it as a good sign that we're getting, like, new, very weird viewers. Pregnancy person. And the, bot's back. So maybe your channel's growing again? I guess? Alright, and then millennial child spelling. Brittany. Brittiny. Don't lay on the keyboard, bud. Good boy. Okay. Well, they are down 1. Get him! Hey, T-Jabs! You were looking away, I heard millennial child spell, and given this game, you briefly thought that I was going to shape a 90s child into being. No, I determined to not shape any children into being. Game or otherwise. Alright, we're beating up on this appropriately now. sure. Hopefully we find another lockpick soon. Shaped Lance. A mundane and non-magical weapon, but effective nonetheless. No, a third gene does not leave us a whole lot of room for spells. But not 0. Still red. Okay. So I don't really want to travel out there just yet because of that. I know I keep on, like, going back here very carefully, but it seems like a good idea. We've been just scraping through these fights here. Why do we keep having this problem of one not coming? That's unfortunate. Okay. And last one. How are they still alive? There we go. Big gem. Die, some thorns, and gauntlets. Good. There's a whole area here. Anything? No. Just a little side path. Alright. Whew, we are getting real close to making it a rising. This has been a hard fight to get there. Do we ever... I don't know if I ever actually managed to look at this. We got so distracted by the bridge. Oh yeah, it said a body got dragged there. Okay, yeah, we did look at that. Unsupervised battle alphas sleep here. Filthy. Okay. This is gonna be locked. Maybe, but... Yo! Shake the box! Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Ephemeris. This storeroom contains food and building supplies for this outpost. This will probably be a supply depot for whatever wars the Barzites provoke. There's a dead warrior in the back corner of the room, clad in steel armor. He was killed by a single, massive blow to the skull. Are these genes forgeries? No, I'm forging them naturally. They're organic, farm fresh. How you doing? Demos and Cataclysmo. What's Cataclysmo? I haven't heard of that one. And welcome all you cool people. Thank you so much for the host, Shake the Box. If you haven't followed Shake the Box, you really should. Shake the Box does a lot of the rogues and stuff that we're all into. For those of you that don't know me, I am also into a lot of roguelikes and a lot of old RPGs and things. Especially now, because I can't, do... I'm in the middle of a god run in Noida, but it's been on hold for 2 months as I'm waiting for my finger to heal so I can actually use WASDA! I was finally going to get all of my amulets and hats and things. Broke the reroll machines, and then the day that we did it, I did this, basically. Oh, yeah, from the folks that made Moonlighters, the RTS tower defense. Okay, I did remember hearing about that. Huh. Oh, that sounds cool, then. Yeah, I've got a few things. It sucks. I've been getting, like, a whole lot of requests for weird little roguelikes, and I just haven't had the time to, like, sit down and check them out. Plus a compelling story. Speaking of compelling stories... We're in part 8 of a very compelling story, at least for me, that it delves exactly as deep as you want into a very interesting world. This is a remake that just came out of Geneforge 2, an indie RPG from like 2004, I believe. I believe it's exactly 20 years old. They did a remake of Geneforge 1 recently, and it's so good. It was so good. Really, really interesting CRPG. Like, it might be my favorite CRPG of all time. Like, for these kind of isometric RPGs. Like, I think I like it more than, like, a Baldur's Gate 2. It's so good. It's so good. It's so well written, and the setting is just exactly the kind of thing that I'm into, and it's a really, really unique world. So... if you want to check this out, I highly recommend them. They're like $20. They're not very expensive. For the remakes, too. And I have the full playthrough up on YouTube for both games. I mean, not the full playthrough of this one, because we're not done it, but I do have playlists for that. So hey, good to see all you cool Shake the Box people. I'm Ilian. Obviously, I do a lot of things. I've been doing streaming for 10 years now. A little more, actually, I think. Still deciding how I'm gonna do my in November should be the anniversary. I think it's 10 years actually. I don't think it's 11 yet. But 10 years streaming anniversary and 8 years of partner both coincide in November. I don't know what to do. I don't know which way to word that, which one we should do as a celebration, and I also don't know what to do for it yet. I really gotta figure that one out. I've been having life coming at me instead. I just want to play my stupid games. Yeah, if you're the type that like these kind of real cool, interesting stories and, tactical battles and things like that, this game is right up your alley. If you're into old retro games and you like old RPGs and things, oh, such a cool game. The battle alpha, the battle beta. Right, right. Okay, snarls at you. You come to duel? Duel me? I show you Shaper weak. Creation strong and great. Where's your master creation? It swings its arm. Snap! One swing, weak human who order me around. Crush and fall in one blow. And I was to fear it? Tiny, weak thing. That makes sense. Since there are so few Shapers in these mountains, they left ordinary humans to watch after the creations guarding the bridge. This is almost always a mistake. Shapers get years of training in how to manage and control creations. Telling a regular human to watch something as powerful and willful as a battle beta is a terrible idea. Okay, I don't know. I knew it, Shaper weak, Shaper coward, go away. I hunt and eat what I want, free here. It laughs at you as you back away. Such treatment from a creation is very humiliating for a Shaper to accept. But you manage. I don't want to kill it, is the thing. If I don't have to. I mean, I would love to see that loot. But I'm gonna walk away. The very basic gist of this game, or like at least the setting of this game, is that we are a Shaper, a wizard that basically our society controls the known world, although we've found that there's more of the known world than we realize, as there often is. And the reason why is because they have realized that as wizards, one way they can use their magic is to bombard organic matter and thus shape it into different forms. I.e., they literally create life, which makes for some interesting mechanics because your party, you can recruit people sometimes, very rarely. But for the most part, you just... I just want to make this thing. I'm going to make a Vlish. And then I can, like, choose how to level it and make my party at any point, at any time. As long as I have enough essence for it. The stronger they are, the harder they are to control. There's things like that, but it's really, really neat. What you really want to know is what the other wizard cults the Shapers worry are trying to steal from them are about. It kind of sounds like there's not that many of those left most of the time. It hasn't gotten into that too much. I think that some of the later games maybe go into that a little bit more. But also, for the most part, it sounds like they've basically dominated those. And they exist inside of Shaper culture. And those wizards just apply to become Shapers, essentially. Like in this game, for example, there's the Turabi, which are because we're in this area called the Dry Peak Mountains. And they talk about there being an old clan called the Turabi that lived here before the Shapers came. Like hundreds of years ago. Because the Shapers have been here for a couple hundred years. And the Turabi were like crystal Shapers and did all this like magic around crystals and things like that. And so we've met a few craftspeople, but like they're basically just willing servants now of the Shapers because they just cannot fight them. The Shapers are unbelievably strong. It really tries to impress that on you that like the Shapers are terrifying. Like, we are going to these areas where their control has kind of... It's a hard balance because they have to make it so the Shapers aren't as strong in a way, but also it really does try and stress that, like, if the Shaper Council found out that this area had been kind of compromised in the way that it was, they would just glass it, and, like, without a problem. Like, it's not an issue. I guess I just feel like they're kind of boring for a self-described cult. Like, you mean the Tarabi are? Or the Shapers are? The Shapers. Uh, I would say that they're not, philosophically. I think that they haven't gotten into that as much yet. So much of this game so far has been set up. And the last game didn't delve into it too much, although there were hints. So there are some areas in the last game that kind of point to the fact that the Shapers are not the first Shapers, in a way. And there's something else going on. But it hasn't gone deeper than that. There's definitely been a lot of hints of extra mystery around that. So, I mean, I don't know. There's only so much, like... They're wizards as cartoon scientists, which you're tired of. Yeah, fair enough. That's fair. I mean, that's really not the focus of these games so far, right? The focus isn't so much the Shapers, but their creations. Like, in the last game... in this game, there's actually been a lot of Shapers. In the last game, there was, like... God, did we even meet another Shaper at some point? I think there must have been... Yeah, there was, like, one or two somewhere. But, like, in the last game, there were basically no other Shapers. None. You could easily go through that game and never see another one. Like, they're not really the focus... And I mean, that's fair if you'd like to see more of them, that, like, it'd be neat to see that background, but... It's not really the story that's being told. And yeah, I can get how that is... It'd be nice to see more of it, but I like, there's 5 games in the series? I don't think there's 6. I think there's only 5. I don't think they're... Are they called a cult? I think they might be, but yeah, I don't know. They tend to call the other groups cults. I don't know that the Shapers themselves are called cults. They tend to call the other wizards, any other wizards, they tend to call cults. But I don't think that they... My understanding is that they don't call themselves cult. If I remember correctly. But I could be wrong. Were they in the Geneforge 1 intro? It might be. That's 2 years ago. So very possibly. That's a Glack. Well, I was hoping that we would go and see Barzal right away. But I guess that was a bit ambitious to think that we'd go from here immediately to Rising. The remake may have changed it. No, I think you might be right. It's just been... Yeah. It's been a while. And in any case, like I said, there's a lot of games, so they might get into it eventually. It seems like there's a really deep lore eventually around the whole thing, because Geneforge 1 really hints at there being more than what's been told about the Shapers. There's a lot of heavy implication that, like, Shapers are kind of told a lot of things that are extremely not true about their society and is hidden because the Shaper Council is like, no, we're the ultimate power and gods, definitely. Like, they say that the implication a lot of times is that the Shapers, like I said, control the entire world. They control everything. But then we meet the Cholet, who are from explorers from across the sea, and they're like, oh yeah, no, we meet all kinds of different people. Like, oh, you guys are interesting. And it's like, wait, What? Like, that doesn't seem like it should. Those two things seem way at odds with each other. Things like that. And it sounds. It makes it seem like the actual council is very much like, fuck, we cannot let people know what's going on outside of here. So I think there's a lot more going on, and I think we'll get into that as the series goes on. Come on. I know you're scared. Come here, buddy. It's okay. There we go. All right. It's tough to build, like, an entire world, right? It's not like D&D, because you also have... You have to build so much, like, base premise around this world that it's hard to get into all those details right away, I would say. I kind of can't blame them for that. You're right, I would like to see more, but also it's... That's a tough one. Oh, good. I'm terrified. Like, when you think of, like, a D&D game, even if you have to build up a whole world for people that don't know D&D, people understand things like, oh, dwarves, elves. Like, those kinds of things are just in the public lexicon and in the mind of anybody, even if they are not a fan of D&D. But in this, it's like, you have to build up everything. Because there's, like, you know, people have some idea of what a goblin is, of what an orc is. Here, it's like, what's a glack? What's a drake? What's a... I mean, like, because... I mean, drake is kind of the same, but not really. And then, like, you know, what are Vlish and the turrets and, like, just everything about it. You just wish more games had Morrowind levels of fantasy cultism. Sure, sure. But also, like, Morrowind didn't have that immediately either, necessarily, right? Like, because you're talking about that's, again, the third game. We're only in the second. You got to build up to some of that. A little bit. Also, oh boy, Morrowind is a AAA game with a huge team behind it, and this is literally one person. I will give you, though, it is the lore of Morrowind is, like, the most compelling thing. It's more than a little unfair to demand a similar level of devotion, of esoteric weirdness and lore depth. From single dude. Hey, good to see you, Grimmeth. Stop terroring us. Manny's alchemical to the north. Okay. I just kind of want to go through to Rising. breeding pits. Don't love the sound of that. You enter the southern half of the city of Rising. The buildings are old Shaper construction, recently and carefully restored. The crumbling walls have been fixed by servile workers. There are piles of materials and equipment everywhere. The halls around you are mostly empty, but they've been prepared to house a host of humans and creations. This is an impressive complex of shaping halls. Once it is making creations at full speed, the Shaper Council may have a difficult time retaking these mountains. Oh wow, that's... From the way that the lore in the world is set up, that is no small feat. A few serviles are patrolling the streets. Unfortunately, they're armed. One of them, on duty down the road to the west, sees you. He shouts in a flat, emotionless voice, "The Shaper Chief has come. We're here to test you. Come so we can fight you." Well, it is almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Look upon the heart, upon the heart. A god? How can you kill a god? I'm going to head off, though. It's been a wonderful night. We will find the Barzites next time. I'm going to be back tomorrow, hopefully with good news about my finger. I'm not entirely certain what we're playing. I have scheduled in Elden Ring. I've penciled it in for a canonical 3-finger playthrough. Which we've done a lot. We've gotten through most of the DLC, or at least a bit of the DLC for sure. But it's been difficult with this, and now that it's in a splint and we're like resetting everything, I need to talk to the new physical therapist and stuff that I have, and yeah, a whole mess. Some of you know, some of you don't. If you don't know, I'm not going to go through the whole thing right now. But maybe that tomorrow. If not, I'll post it up in the Discord and stuff. Other than that, thank you all for being here. I'm going to host you over to somebody else. And of course, if you want to see this whole playthrough, it is all up on YouTube. Those follows are certainly appreciated. And you can always check out the podcast. Also, I'm going to host you over to somebody else. So don't go away. And I'll leave you with a little bit of... Since we're talking about it. This almost makes me want to play Morrowind again. We did do it pretty recently, though. I'm going to host you over to... let's go with Teddy Ras tonight. Doing some Dark Souls speedrunning. Or, yeah, randomizer speedruns, which is real fun. It's wild and a lot of fun.
Lay down your weapons. It is not too late for my mercy.
Not too late for my mercy.
Come and look upon the heart. Upon the heart. I'm a god. How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence.
Alright, have a good night.
How can you kill a god? Shame on you, sweet Zarabar. I'm a god. I'm a god. I'm a god. God. I'm a god. I'm a god.